This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all. So welcome welcome to day 9 of the JMeter session. And as a recap, so in day we have looked into third way of launching, then related to certificate regeneration, then third way of launching, right? Then we went inside the JMeter and we have seen various files and folders of JMeter, right? So continuing from there, so today we'll see JMeter properties file, then some changes we will do in properties file, than a plugin manager and a plugin installation and uninstallation, right? Those things. So, starting with the topic. So this is what we were discussing, right? Walkthrough of JMeter directory, various files and folder. So we have seen all the files and folders and what they do. Now, uh, here talking about the properties file, correct? So in JMeter bin directory we have 6 properties file, right? So if you remember yesterday I have highlighted, so it's a JMeter properties file, report generator dot properties file, save services properties file, system dot properties file, user dot properties file, and upgrade dot properties. Okay, why they are called properties file? Because extension, you see their extension is dot properties, or here you can see properties, correct? So 6 are there, so we'll talk about them. So let me bring only those 6 from here. Yeah. So these are 6 properties file, right? This properties file you can always open in Notepad or Notepad++. You have to just right click and you will see open, right? So you can open that with Notepad, or edit also you can do, or edit with Notepad++ you can do, right? You can always open them, these files, in Notepad or Notepad++, correct? To see what are the contents in this, correct? So I'll just open you all this for you guys in Notepad++. So first is JMeter properties file. Okay, it's a very important properties file. Okay, so before I go and discuss, so these are the 6 properties file, correct? JMeter dot properties file, report generator, save services, system dot properties file, upgrade dot property. Out of this, okay, 6 are there. Out of these 2 are very important. JMeter dot properties file and user dot properties file. These are important. We deal with them, right? We come across them, or we use them, we do some thing in them, right? What thing we do, I'll show you. Apart from that, these 4 are like useless. Okay, so I have opened them right in Notepad++. So here, this is JMeter dot properties file. You can see it's a very big file, right? And these are the content inside this. And if you scroll down from top to down, you see many things. It's thousands of lines are there. Okay, thousands of contents are there. Okay, so that is JMeter dot properties file. Next is report generator properties file. Okay, we do not do anything in this, right? But I have opened report generator properties file over here, right? Okay, here some contents are there, but again we do not do anything, right? No change or nothing, we do not do anything. So I'll just close that. Then so report generator we do not touch, or we do not do anything. Next is save services dot properties file. Okay, this is also you can see I've opened that here, save services properties file, and these are the contents inside this, right? Some contents are there, ignore that. But again, right, so coming by again, this also we do not touch, or we do not play with that, or we do not do anything in that, correct? In so in the report or in this save services, we do not do anything. Next one is system dot properties file. In system dot property, it's the smallest properties file. You see by size, file size 5, it's of 5 KB. And this is system dot properties file. It's very small here. Okay, it's very small. And again, there is nothing to do here. In future, these 2 lines are required. I'll be covering that, about this 2 line that I am highlighting here. Apart from that, nothing to do in this as well. Okay, so again, this also I'm closing. Right, so this is system.properties file is a very small file, smallest file you can say out of the 6. and we rarely do anything there, right? Just two lines are there. Sometimes we have to play with that. Apart from that, we do not do anything over there. Okay, then we have upgrade.properties file. This upgrade.properties file also we do not do anything in this, or means no need to touch, or there is no such things, right? This is the content of upgrade.properties file. Something are there, you have to just ignore, means we do not again touch or do anything, right? So there are three properties file basically which we do not touch at all. What are those? Report generator, save services, and upgrade. Okay, we do not touch at all, no need to touch. Then three are left. So JMeter.properties, system.properties, and user.properties. Now in that also, system.properties, very rarely you'll be needing to do some changes in that, to touch it, right? Very rarely you'll be needing such work that you have to touch it. So one huge case is there that I'll be covering later on. So at that time we'll be needing something to change in system.properties file. Otherwise, this is also a kind of no use, you can say. Okay, kind of no use. But yeah, sometime it can happen that we will be doing something, but in many cases not required. So only two properties file are left that we play with: the report generator, the jmeter.properties file, and user.properties file. In this jmeter.properties file is the biggest properties file if you see by the size, and it's the very important properties file, very important. Okay, so I have opened that over here. This is jmeter.properties file, and you can see if I scroll from up to down, you see thousands of lines are there in this. It's the biggest properties file. Okay, now what this does, okay, what this line does, that right, I'm saying lines, okay, changes. So actually in this some lines are there, you see some lines are there in this all properties file. So those lines control the JMeter. Okay, what they do, they control the JMeter, or you can say they control the features of JMeter. Okay, they control the feature of JMeter. So there are thousands of lines, even I also do not know many. Okay, but around 10 lines are there which we should be talking about. 10 to 12 lines are there, right? As a best practice we should always know about them. Okay, so I'll talk about them. So as I said, these lines that you see here, they control the features of JMeter, or you can say they control the working behavior of JMeter, right? So for one example I'll show you, right? Then you'll get the idea. See, in JMeter, let me close this user.properties file. So currently I've opened the JMeter.properties file, correct? Now in JMeter, undo redo option is not there by default. Okay, undo redo option is not there by default. Undo redo means in other software you must that you will be using, we can undo, right? And we can redo the things. That is not there in JMeter. So you can bring them. How to bring them? You have to open the JMeter.properties file, correct? By right clicking. Obviously, I have already opened here. Now in this, search for, let me scroll up and just search for Control F, search for history. Once you search for history, you will get this. Okay, here history and here history. So you can see a number of items in undo history. This feature is disabled by default. Okay, and some box why it is disabled, and then this is some notes they have given, and then they have given it some statement over here. Okay, and they are saying that set it to a number greater than 0. 25 can be good default. Bigger it is, the more memory it consumes, right? And this is the line that we have to change, right? So what is the beauty of these lines in JMeter, correct? Here you see these lines are there. What they do, a notes will be given, correct, related to any line. You see thousands of lines are there. Any line you see, like what this line does. This is called properties line. Okay, so what this line does, so a notes they have given above. Okay, or what this line does, a notes given above. So for any line they have given some notes. Okay, like uh, like this. You can see some notes here for this line. Here one line is there for that one notes here. So any line for that notes they have given. So that is the beauty. Means suppose you want to read this, so what it is, so for that they have given a notes here. Okay, that what that is, right? So that is the beauty. So like that, coming back to that line, the history, right? History. So this is that line which we have to change to get the undo redo enable. By default this is disable. This is what the notes they have given, right? So you have to change it. Now to change it, what you have to do, what they're saying, that you have to give a number greater than 0. So here you see by default 0 is there. You have to see if give a number greater than 0. How you can do that? So give some number here. First you have to enable this, enable. Okay, you have to enable this line. So how to enable? You see there, here hash is there. Hash means by default this is the default state. So let us say you want to do some change in this line or any line, not only this line, any line. You have to uncomment it, remove the hash. Okay, hash, remove that. Okay, so once you remove, it will become blue color, right, or dark blue color. Otherwise they will be in green color, right? And then that has been removed, and then here you give some number. So let us say I'll give 4 here, some number. Okay, and then I'll save this. We have to compulsory save. After doing any changes you have to save, right? Remember that. And I'll restart the JMeter. So once I restart the JMeter, here you'll see two symbol will come. Okay, two arrow kind of symbol will come. Restart. So now let me zoom. So you can see those two arrows, one this side and one that side, right? They came, right? So this one is undo, this one is redo. How this undo redo works, I'll just show you. Then again we'll come back to these lines. So let me add a thread group here. Then inside that, let me add a recording controller. Then here inside this thread group, let me add a listener. Then let me add a non-test element, the HTTP script recorder. Inside that, let me add a right. Suppose. So I have done 4 steps, right? So since I have given 4 here, so 4 step I can go backward. That is undo. Okay, and 4 step I can go forward again. That is redo. So let us say I will click this yellow button. So see that this gone, right? It has been removed. Means it has been undone, right? We can say undo. Okay, so one step, then one more time if I click, then that other element has gone. Then one more time if I click, so that view result tree gone. And then one more time if I click, that recording control that I added, it's gone. So this undo redo works in the form of steps. What step you have done, that many steps you can go backward and forward. And number of steps that you can go backward or forward is decided by here. 4 I have given here, so 4 steps I can go back. 4 steps again I can move forward by clicking this redo again. See, so that recording control added, result tree added, this one added, and inside that this one added, right? So this is how in undo redo works in JMeter, correct? And the number you've set here, that many time you can undo and that many time you can redo. Now coming to this number, okay, do not give more than means more than 3 or 4 or 5. Okay, more than 5 I'll suggest do not give. Here they say that you can set 25, it's a good, but do not set 25. If you set 25 over here, it makes the JMeter hang, JMeter becomes slow. Okay, remember that. Okay, so do not go by them. Maximum I'll suggest for a better thing, you can give 3 or 4, or maximum you can give 5. That will be good. So suppose you are giving 5 means 5 step, you can go backward, 5 step, you can go forward whenever you are doing anything on JMeter. Okay. So this is what this number does. Now that is what this line is, you see. I changed one line and it has impacted something in JMeter, right? So like that, thousands of lines are there in this JMeter.properties file, which controls this JMeter. In from this around, I just said 10 to 12, not 10 to 12, more than that only. 12 to 15 lines are there, which we will be talking about, which is important as per me, means what I have discovered or what I have come across. Okay. So first one is this one only. You can enable undo redo. It's a good thing, right? Only. So that is what these lines does, and these lines are called properties lines. And this is how you have to change anything by removing the hash, and you have to comment that out, and then you can set some value. This is related to any line in present in this file, not in this, in other file as well, right, that we see over here. But this, as I said, this all we do not touch them, or we do not play with them only. Even the system dot property we do not play, so no need to go there. But yeah, that is what these lines are, right? Okay. Now coming to user dot properties file. So about JMeter dot properties file we have
Bella,
discussed now.
I have one
Yes.
question. That
Yeah.
undo dot history, that property which you have changed. So only for that tag, this redo and undo both works?
Tag. Yes, yes. This will enable both. Hmm?
Uh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So coming back to next properties file, that is user dot properties file, right? So what is the use of this? So user dot properties file, first I'll open that, and then, so this is how user dot properties file looks. There are some content inside this, right? Some contents are there. Okay. So this is the next important properties file. After JMeter.properties file, next important properties file is user.properties, or you can say they are interrelated. Why this user.properties file is given, and what is the use of this user.properties file? So understand this. Okay. This is given by JMeter for the user. User means not the virtual users, right? Not that one. User means the person who is using the JMeter. Okay. Like me or you guys. For him, they have given this user.properties file. Now, why they have given, correct? So there are 3 to 4 reasons for that. What is that reason? First thing, what they say is, suppose you want to change any line in JMeter.properties file, right? Suppose. So they say that do not change over there. Let the default line as it is. Change that in user.properties file. How that is done, I'll show you. Correct? Do not worry. So that first thing what they say, like this line only. Suppose we did some change, right? So as a best practice, what they say that do not change it over here, whatever the change you have done. Better you move this line to user.properties file and do the changes there. Why they say? They say this because uh, uh, right, they say this because of 3 to 4 reason. That's what I'll be talking about. So that is the reason why this user.properties file is given. Okay, why it is given? That any change you want to do in properties line in JMeter.properties file or in some other properties file, right, over here, generally we do not touch this, right? Again, I'm repeating, but for an example, let us say, or in JMeter.properties file only, let us say you want to change any line. So they say that do not change it over here. In respect of that, in spite of that, change that in user.properties file. Put that in user.properties file and change it over here. So meaning, let us say this line we change, right? So we can change it over here as well. It's not like that we cannot change, right? I have done some changes over here, and you see it has impacted in JMeter, correct? This is in JMeter.properties file, and I have done some changes here, and it has impacted over here. So we can do changes over here. It's not like that. But as a best practice, they say that instead of doing change over here, you move this line in user.properties file and do the change over there. and for that purpose user.properties file is given, right? Now why this concept is, how to do that I'll show you, but why this concept is given, that I'll tell. There are 3 to 4 reasons. One reason is that they say that let the original line be as it is, whatever you want you change in user.properties file. So in that way the original line will be as it is. So this will help in few ways. First way, let us say you did some changes, because in JMeter.properties file thousands of lines are there, and you did some changes, and after 6 months you forgot, obviously, right? If we are not using JMeter that much, you'll forget, right? So again you have to come back in JMeter.properties file and you have to check what you changed. Like that you have to remember, right? And if you have forgotten, then how you will recover that? So that is why one reason, that instead of doing the change in JMeter.properties file, you do in user.properties file. Correct? One reason. Second reason is that if you keep, or let us say some line you have changed and you have kept that in user.properties file, correct? So and you are working in a company, right, where other employee, other colleagues are also using JMeter, correct? You the same JMeter, right, which you are using. So let us say suppose you are not there, you went on leave, correct, or you left the company. So what changes you have done, like some 10 to 10 12 line you have changed, right? And so if you keep that in one place in user.properties file, it will be easy for them. Okay, this fellow has done this many changes here, I can see it. But if you do that in jmeter.properties file, can he even recognize? No, right? Because thousands of lines are there, how he will get to know that what changes you have done? Okay, so that way it helps the colleagues, right? Proper management, you can say. Second, with third thing, third practice, or third reason for this doing changes in user.properties file. Let us say when version upgrades happen, right? So suppose current version is 5.4.1. Still they are very late, they have not released the new version. Generally they should do, but let us say maybe next year 5.5 is coming, right? So you have kept some line changed, correct? Let us say you have kept some line change in jmeter.properties file. Again you have to, and those are some good lines that you should always change. So again you have to do that in new version JMeter properties file, because this properties file will be there in that version as well. So one by one changing again not feasible, right? Out of those 1000 you find, and again you do that in newer version JMeter property. Is it feasible? No. Instead of that, if you keep those lines that you want in user.properties file in one common place, so you can easily copy them and move them in the user.properties file of the new version, right? In there also user.properties file will be there. You just copy and move them there, very easy, right? So that way, that is also, right, management. Okay, so these are a few changes, a few regions, that why they have given user.properties file, and why we should do changes in user.properties file, why you should not do any change in jmeter.properties file, correct? Okay, now how to do, right? So I'll start with the same line. First, what I'll do, I will I'll disable this line to its original state, like how it was looking earlier. So it was commented, and then here 0 was there, and then I'll save. Okay. So if I have disabled this line, and if I restart the JMeter, you see these two settings, undo redo, will be gone. Okay, they will not be there. Let me restart. So you see here, those went away. Those two arrows, they're not there right now, right? Okay. Now I want to do a change here, right? So as I said, we can do the change here as well, right? We can do, but as a best practice, we should not do here. we should do in user.properties file, right? We should not do in JMeter. Instead of that, we should copy that line in user.properties file and do the change over here. So I have opened both. Here I have opened JMeter.properties file, and parallelly here I have opened user.properties file, correct? And this is these are the contents and in user.properties file, correct? Now I want to do some change in this line. So what you should be doing, you can copy this, Control C, come to user.properties file, right? I have copied from jmeter.properties file. Now I am in user.properties file, and just scroll down, and in and you can make a line like this, separate line you can make, and then you can just paste that line over here like this. Okay, correct. You see, like this I have just pasted, and then you enable this line by removing this hash, so it's commented out, right? And then give some value. Let us say I'll give some value 4, and then save, right? And now let me restart the JMeter. So if I zoom the JMeter again, you see those two arrows came back. Yeah, correct. They came, and I have done changes at one common place right here, so it will be easy for me to manage as well, right? So this is why the user.properties. Now here one thing, you will ask me one question, that here this line is there in jmeter.properties file, and this line is default, right, like this, and same line is there in user.properties file, and we have changed something to that. So two copies of that line are there, right? Two copies are there. So can JMeter not be confused which one to refer, right? JMeter can be confused that here the same line is like default, and here we have changed something to that line. Now which one to consider, right? JMeter can confuse. So remember, there is one rule is there. What is that rule? User.properties file overrides the property defined in other properties file. Meaning of this, that any change that you have done to any properties line, any change you have done to any properties line in user.properties file, that will be considered as priority or first or main consideration. Okay, main consideration, overridden. Okay, so that's why two in jmeter.properties file also this line is there, and same line in user.properties file that we have this line, and but we have changed some line something for that line here in user.properties file, and here that line is a default. Now which one jmeter will consider? The line which is there in user.properties file, that one jmeter will consider. Okay, because the changes that you do in user.properties file, that has higher precedence, you can say, or a higher priority. So the line that are changed inside user.properties file, that will be considered, right? So no confusion here related to this question, correct? First thing. Second thing, any change we do in properties file, we have to save it, correct? And then we have to restart the JMeter for changes to effect. So that is very simple, right? Suppose you have done some changes over here, you have to compulsorily save that file, and then you have to restart the JMeter. Then only you can see that changes in JMeter. Okay. Now before, so that is what one change we have done. Similarly, to we'll see, we'll do two more change. Okay. So before that, I go and show you other changes. Remember one thing. Okay. Two shortcuts. Remember two shortcuts. As a fresher, people for them basically shortcuts. What are those shortcuts? Control plus C is used for copy. Control plus V is used for paste, right? These are two shortcuts of our keyboard. Control plus C is used for copy. Means you select something and you press Control C, that will be copied. And you want to paste that content somewhere. So for that, use Control V. These two shortcuts comes very handy in JMeter. Very handy in JMeter, right? To copy anything, you have to just select. Let us say I want to copy this line. So I can just select like this and then press Control C. And suppose I want to paste it somewhere. So press Control V and that will be pasted. Okay, just an example I'm saying. So these two shortcut. So next time whenever I do copy and paste something from here and there, so that is done through Control C and Control V only. Okay, and remember, and in JMeter, many things you have to do Control C and Control V. Many time you have to do. So that is a best handy shortcut. Okay, Control C for copy, Control V for paste. One more is there. Remember T that I have told you. Control plus T. Control plus T is used for toggling. Toggling means disabling any element or removing any element or enabling, right? Suppose this thread group, I have to disable that. Disable means making it not in use, right? So I can press Control T, so that has been disabled. And again, if I press that Control T, it can be enabled. So for enabling and disabling an element in JMeter, that is called toggling. For that, shortcut is Control T. Now next, okay, next change. Next change related to,
Well, one question. Do
yes,
we have any shortcut for redo and undo instead of changing the properties file
no,
for
properties file you have
enabling
to
this?
that is not the shortcut. That line, to bring that feature we have to change this line. Okay, it's not shortcut. To bring this feature in JMeter we have to change this line. Shortcut is different thing, keyboard shortcuts are different thing. Okay,
No, I mean to say like any thing on the JMeter itself to enable this redo or undo instead
no,
of changing in the properties.
no. Okay, so next we'll see some lines related to backup related setting. So yesterday I talked about one folder that we have in JMeter, right? That is backup folder, you remember, where for any script that you will be working on, 10 latest copy of backup will be saved, right? So for that also setting is there. So in jmeter.properties file, just search for Control F, and Control F will be used to bring up the search button in any software, right? It's not related to JMeter. Again, that is also a shortcut, Control F. Okay, Control F. So I have pressed Control F. Now here I'll search backup. So you see this is highlighted. Just scroll up. So here, JMX backup configuration. So total 6 lines are there. It's not six, I think 5 are there. One line is over here. One is here. One is here. One is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one line is here. 5. Okay. So meaning, so for every line, as I said, what this line does, a notes given here. Very beautiful. What this line does, a notes given here. What this line notes given. We do not have to do any changes. Just I'm saying that we can control the backup related thing as well, right? So first line, what it says that save backup on save true, right? Means by default the backup will be saved. Okay, that setting is true. So that's why automatically the backup is already taken, right? Without our means we will not be knowing also, and backup will be kept by JMeter automatically, right? Because this line is true. What you see, notes has given over here. If you want, you can read. Then this line is for where you want to save the backup. So by default, the backup folder will be created in the backup in our JMeter directory by default, and all the backups will be saved in that, right? If you want to save that in some other location, so you can enable this line by uncommenting that, and you can give the path of that folder where you want to keep the backup. Okay, so that you can do, but let it be default is good. Default will be the backup folder. Inside that, all backup will be kept. Then when till when the backups will be kept, this line is for that. Okay. So 0 means infinity. By default, no expiration time, right? Means infinity. So the backup which will be kept here, they will be always kept. All right, they will be kept till infinity. Means no expiration. If you want to change the time, let us say I need only backups to be kept till 7 days or 1 month. After that, they should be deleted. Okay, so that you can, that hour you can set over here, right? In terms of hour, you have to enable this line, and that many hours you can set it over here. But again, it's not, these changes are not important, right? Just understand, we do not need to change it. Okay, default is good. These are default thing, they are good. Okay. Same way, this line for maximum count, how many latest backups should be taken, right? So as I said, that default 10 backups will be preserved, right? Latest 10 backup of any script will be preserved. So this is the line which controls that. If you want that, you just want to 5 backups to be saved, so you can comment this line, comment out, means you can enable this line, right, by removing has, and you can give 5 over here. Right, or better is to copy that line in user.properties file and change it over here, right? So only 5 backup will be saved. And one more line is there, that before running the test, take the backup automatically. So after scripting and other thing, we run the test, right? So at that time also backup is taken automatically. So this is that line for that, and it is also true. So these are the default lines, and they are at good options. No need to change them. But as in just for an information, this is what, right? For backup also we have settings, correct? And these lines are there which controls the feature of backup. No need to change anything, right? Now next important line is increasing the view real tree line limitation. Only the important one, what we will be should be changing the best practice in JMeter, that I'll be talking about. So one was undo redo. It's a good thing. We can enable that. Okay, or we should enable this. Next line is view result tree line limitation. So this view result tree line limitation, meaning of this is, so whenever we record, right? So whenever we record, so in this view real tree, which is inside this HTTP test script recorder, here the original logs will be captured, correct? You must have seen also there are so many logs will be there, right? So each log, each line, right, each line is, I mean, each one line that you see is counted as one line, correct? One line. Anything in this backup? Suppose I have just bought. So you see this kind of lines come, right? So each line is each is this line you see that will be counted as one line, and by default it has a limitation of showing only 500 lines, right? 500 lines, right? So that is a drawback, a biggest drawback. Why that is drawback? suppose you see here, I think I have recorded only home page launch, and you see so many lines, I mean irrelevant lines, and everything gets captured, right? Now let us assume that your flow is little bit big. The flow that you are working on, the scenario, that flow means scenario, the user story that you are working on, there are 40 to 50 transactions in them, right? 40 to 50 transactions are there. So when you record that much big flow, obviously the lines will increase, right? Because the application related lines will be there, irrelevant lines will be there. So it can go above 500. So if it goes above 500, uh, what will happen? You will see the few lines will be missing from here, right? Let us say that you are recording the flow, 40 to 50 transactions are there. So when you are recording, so uh, and then the lines, this over here, it can only show 500 lines, latest 500. So what will happen? The previous line, right? Previous line, you will see they will be missing. Okay, so that drawback is there. It will not show only. So we have to overcome that drawback. So we have to change that. Okay, we have to change that limitation. So how to change that? So again, for that, in JMeter.properties file only, a control is there, and one properties line is there. So just search in JMeter properties file, correct? Search for view result. Okay. View results. Yeah, view result. So if you search for view result, right here you get the highlight, and here you see this thing. Maximum number of result in the result tree, which is by 500. As I said, default is 500. We can set to 0 here. What they're saying, set to 0 to store all the results, right? They say it might consume more memory. Ignore that. um, uh, Enable this line, okay, and set it to 0 to store all the results. So how to enable? First copy this line and put that in user.properties file, and then give 0 here. It's already enabled, right? You see the hash I have removed, and give 0 here and save, and then restart the JMeter. So next time that the limitation will be gone, okay, from here. The next properties line is related to increasing the certificate expiry time. So you remember in last session I told that the default expiry of the certificate that we have, right, is of 7 days, correct? 7 days validity. You can increase that time if you wish. So how to increase? So go to jmeter.properties file and search here control F1 certificate. So if you search like that, you see certificate, and here you see proxy.cert.validity equal to 7 in 7 days. Okay, by default it's 7 days. So let us say I will increase that. So I'll copy this line and I'll move it to user.properties file. I'll paste it. Instead of 7 days, I'll give 365. Let us say means 1 year. Suppose 365 means 1 days. Sorry, 1 year, right? 1 year. Now you save that, and after that, what you do, if you want to see that whether it has affected or not, or I can show you, you delete the old certificate, right? The 3 files related to that you have to delete, and again regenerate the certificate. Let us regenerate. You'll see the validity will be more this time. It will be of 1 year. Okay, stop. So your certificate came right now. If I double click on that, you see the range. Oh, okay. Sorry. I have to restart. Sorry. It was again still 7 days, but this is out. Delete the 3 old certificate files, right? And always we have to restart, right? Remember, any change we do, save the file and restart the JMeter. So restart the JMeter, correct? And then you generate. the new certificate, you will see the validity will be of 1 year. Means the time frame that whatever you given, correct? So that is also one good line we can keep. One line also you related to this proxy recorder time gap. Okay, no need to change, but just for an information. So you remember here I told that we have to wait for minimum 5 seconds as a mandatory gap whenever we do any action while doing the recording. Okay, so for that also there is one line in JMeter properties file given. So that line, if I show you in JMeter.properties file, search for Control F and proxy.pos. Okay, yeah. If the recorder detects a gap of at least 5 seconds default between HTTP request, it assumes that user has clicked a new URL. Okay, and that pause is 500 mill. This value is in millisecond. Means 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds. So as a best practice. So because of this, what they say that whenever you are doing a recording, right, and let us say you have done one transaction called launch, right. So once that transaction is done, recorded properly, then you have to wait for 5 seconds, and then you should do another transaction. Okay. So I'll show you. Do not worry. Tomorrow we'll see that how to wait another thing. So this is what that one line, right? Do not change this, right, just for an information. Correct. Okay. So that is for today. Means for now. For now, these are the three properties file we should change. In future, we'll be changing few more. Okay. So 8 to 9 are there again. 9, 10 files. 9, 10 property lines are there, which will be changing in future. For now, these three are enough. Next, we'll move to another topic, that is plugin manager and plugin installation in JMeter. So in JMeter, see, there are plugins available. Plugins means what? You see this JMeter that you see here. There are some elements, right? There major elements are there, and each major elements has some sub elements, right? So around 50 to more than 60 plus elements are there, right? You see in JMeter by default. Apart from that, we have plugin as well. So this is the official website of plugins for JMeter. So if I take you there, so here search for plugins, JMeter plugin. No need to remember website. Okay, Google it. JMeter plugins. So you see this link, right? JMeterPlugins.org. Just open that. So yes, so this is the JMeter plugin website, official website. So around 84 plugins are there. If you just scroll down and if you see 89 are there, 89 and few the other available here. So 90 plus plugins. Okay, means these are additional element which do not come with JMeter. Plugins means what? Some additional element which do not comes with JMeter. In JMeter by default, these will you will see this plugin. Then they have some sub element that you see, right? This will that you will see. So they are only around 60 to 70 they are there. Okay. Apart from that, additional elements are there which comes as a plugin. So you have to install a few plugin are important. We will be needing them. For an example, this Puffmon, it's a plugin. It's a good plugin. This parallel controller, it's also a good plugin. We'll be needing them, right? But they are not there in JMeter by default. So we have to install them as a plugin, right? You got the point? What is plugin? One more sampler is there which we will be installing as a best practice, correct? So that is what plugins and the official website, right? Now, how to install the plugin in JMeter? So there are two ways. We can install plugin in JMeter through plugin manager, and we can install through manual method. These are few important plugin list that I have kept over here. right? Few important plugins. So first we'll see how to install, right? So installation can be done through two ways, through plugin manager and manual method. First we'll see through plugin manager. So whenever you visit this website, jmeterplugins.org, you'll see that you read this message. If you are first time here, consider installing plugin manager into your JMeter. Okay, this is one option, correct? One option, you can say one feature which will be introduced in JMeter over here. In JMeter, this plugin manager also do not come by default, correct? You have to install that. How to install that? Click on this, right? Click on this link. It will take you to the next page. Once you come here, this is about the some details or some notes about plugin manager. Here you can see the installation and usage. So what they're saying, if you read, download the plugin jar file by clicking here, click on this link, and that jar you have to download and put that in lib/ext directory. Okay, we have lib folder, right? Yesterday I told, and inside that we have to ext folder is there. You have to download this jar and put that in over there, and then restart the JMeter. Okay, so once you restart, then you see this plugin manager option feature available in options tab. Through that you can install any plugin, correct, if you wish. So that is the best way to do. So first what you have to do, you have to click on this link, download that jar file and put that in lib/ext directory, and then restart the JMeter. So I have already downloaded, so you just click here, that will be downloaded, very simple, right? So I have already here that plugin look, it will look like this. Once you download JMeter plugins manager 1.6.jar, okay, it will look like that, correct? Once you download, it will look like this. Now you have to copy that, select and control C, copy that, and in JMeter lib directory, correct? Obviously your lib directory is there, right? Inside this, what are there in lib directory? All jars are kept, right? Remember? So in that ext directory is there, open that and paste it over here, paste that over here. So how to paste? Control V. See, shortcut, right? I just told control C, control V. So that plugin manager is pasted over here inside JMeter lib and ext directory. Now what we have to do is restart the JMeter. So always restart the JMeter. Okay, anything you do in so I'm restarting. So anything, remember, anything you do in properties file or anything you do related to the plugin installation, you have to always restart the JMeter. That you should always remember. Okay, so now this JMeter has been restarted. Now I'll show you. See, this option has came, and just zoom in first. So see, in this options tab, you see plugin manager. So this came, right? Or shortcut of this plugin manager has been kept over here. In top right corner, you see one flower kind of symbol is there. That is shortcut. Okay. So you can go to options or and click on plugin manager. This is the pop-up how it looks. Or you can click on this shortcut, and this is the pop-up right here. Install plugin. These are the things that are already installed in JMeter. If you want to install some new plugin, you have to go to available plugins and then search here, right? So all those 89 plugins will be there over here. So let us say a few plugin I'll install. So there is one very good plugin that we must have. Its name is Dummy Sampler. Okay, I've listed that over here as well. Dummy Sampler. We should always have this. So Dummy Sampler, I'm searching dummy. It came over here. Now how to install? Here check mark will be there, right? Put a check mark in that, and then you see here apply changes and restart. Correct. If you wish, you can install 2 or more plugin at a time. Suppose this parallel control. This is also a plugin, a good plugin, and we need that. So this also I need. So put a check mark on this also, and then click on apply changes on it. So if you wish only one also, you can install by just putting check mark and doing apply changes and restart. Or you want to install multiple, you can put check mark and you can click here apply changes and restart. So let us do that. Now those will be downloaded by JMeter. You see here download is happening, those dummy sampler and this plugin. And once that will be downloaded, automatically after that JMeter will restart. And after that those plugins will be added in our JMeter. So I'll show you. So I'll go to options, then let me just zoom. So to show you that whether those plugins are installed or not, I'll just click on thread group. One was dummy sampler. Okay, so it's a sampler. So in thread group we have sampler, right? Sampler. So if I go here, you see, if you just come down here, JP at JC dummy sampler, JP at JC dummy sampler. Okay, that is there. And another was parallel controller I have installed, right? You remember that was here. What I searched, search dummy, right there. So same you will get, see whatever you will be having on this website, right? The same thing will be there in that plugin manager. If I go again there, see what I searched for dummy, right? They are installed already. So you see here those dummy and parallel controller were installed, right? So they are available on website as well, right? You see? So one was dummy sampler that we will get in sampler tab. This was parallel controller. Okay, we will get that in controller tab. So as I have just shown you, if you right click on thread group, go to sampler, your dummy sampler is added. And that parallel controller, if you go to logic controller and see here, BZM parallel controller is added. Right, this is how plugin is installed. Okay, using plugin manager, very simple. Now before I go ahead, two things I'll tell you. See, few plugin will have name as JP at JC. JP at JC means these plugins are developed by JMeter people only. By JMeter people only. Okay. And few plugins will have BZM in that. BZM with their name. And these plugins are developed by an organization called BlazeMeter. It's a third-party organization. Okay. BlazeMeter. So we'll see that about BlazeMeter we'll discuss in future. But for now, let us say if I right click here and if I go here and if you see this name JP at JC dummy sampler, means this is a plugin developed by JMeter. And here if you see uh, if I go to this logic controller and if I see this parallel controller, here it's BZM. BZM means by BlazeMeter. Okay, it's developed by a third-party organization called BlazeMeter. Okay. Now uninstallation, right? Suppose you want to uninstall any plugin, correct? So installation we have seen, uninstallation. So uninstallation again you can do through plugin manager only. So we will uninstall those plugins. So I'll go to the plugin manager and let us say these were the two plugins that we have installed, right? Suppose I do not need them, I want to remove them. So I can put a check mark on, I can uncheck them, right? You see I have to just uncheck them. So I have unchecked both, and then you can do apply changes and restart. So here you see the message is coming, uninstall those, right? So those will be removed, and JMeter will ask for restart. So like that you can remove any plugin as well if you wish. Removing is also called as uninstalling. Okay. So I'll just show you thread group, add thread group. And if I go to sampler now, that plugin has been gone. It was there right now, earlier, now it's not there. Or in logic controller, that controller, parallel controller, see here, it's gone, it's not there. So like way we can, like this, we can uninstall it. So this is what installation and uninstallation of plugins through plugin manager. First method, the easiest method. First method, the easiest method through plugin manager. One more way is that manual method. So manual method is little, it's not easy, it's not like tough, it's tricky. It's only tricky. Okay, tricky, trickiest, not tough. It's also easy, only tricky. This using plugin manager, it's straightforward. Using manual method is tricky. Now, before we go and discuss about manual method, you will be asking me like why manual method, right? So sometime what happened? Few people are facing issue they are facing issue while using plugin manager. Means like suppose they are going option and they are clicking on plugin manager. This pop-up is not coming for them, or they are facing some issue. JMeter is getting hanged, or this kind of issue they are facing. Okay, so in that case also, what you will do? If that plugin manager is not working, even after installation, it's not working, or JMeter is getting hanged, or you are getting any trouble, right? So that time you can go with manual method. You can install any plugin through manual method. So how to install through manual method? So the same two plugins, dummy sampler and parallel controller, we will install manually. Okay. So how to do that manually? You have to go to the website of this JMeter plugin, right here, this website. Which plugin you need, you have to search that. So suppose I need that dummy sampler. So I'll search it here. It came here, right? Now here versions will be there. See, download versions. The higher the number, the latest version, right? Suppose 0.4 is there, means it's the higher, right? So it's the latest one. Same with the parallel controller, right? Here you see download version 0.11, it's the latest one. So you have to click on that, click on this, and you click on this, correct? Means for both I'm saying, suppose you just need this one only, so click on this, and once you click on that, a zip file will be downloaded. Okay, so I have already downloaded it. So if you people want to download, just click on that version, either here for this plugin, or same way this one for this plugin, right? The latest number you click, and the latest plugin will be downloaded in the zip format. So this will look like here, the dummy. If I click on 0.4, this is how a zip file will be downloaded. Same way for parallel controller, if you click on that 0.11, you see a zip file like this, BJM parallel controller 0.1. A zip file will be downloaded in your system. Okay. Okay. Now how to install, right? So download is done. So this is how you will be downloading any plugin you search here, and the latest version you click on that, and that zip file will be downloaded in your system. Next, what you have to do, that is what tricky is. So let us say this is the dummy sampler zip file. Since it is zip file, you have to extract it, right? Remember, we have to compress that. Sorry, we have to decompress it. We have to extract it. So I'm going to extract it. Now, once you extract, you will see a lib kind of folder. Okay, you see like this, it will come. So meaning of this is, this is a what we say, illustration based instruction. Means instruction where nothing is written, we have to understand. Okay, so this is what meaning of this. Like suppose you go on road, so signboard will be there, right? Arrow will be there, left, right. So it's not written there that you have to turn left or you have to turn right. Arrow is there, right? Arrow. So that meaning of that, it's illustration, right? The instruction given through some diagram or some illustration, right? That is those instruction, right? They are called illustration. So this is what the JMeter people are not telling you what to do. They have not written anywhere, right? You have to understand through this illustration. This illustration means you have to open here lib came, so you have to open your JMeter lib directory. So your JMeter lib directory. Right? So in JMeter we have lib directory. Open that. Now you open this lib as well. So open that. Now in this, so you see two lib, one lib that we downloaded and another lib we have from JMeter. So this side the lib is of my JMeter and the downloaded lib. Now what we have to do is the file that you see over here, that you have to move over here. Very simple. That is what instruction based, illustration based or diagram based instruction, right? They're not telling that in written, but we have to understand, we have to observe, and we have to do. So this file you have to move over here. So move this over here like this, copy paste, very simple. So, okay, so I'll just copy and do the paste here. Drag and drop also you can do, or copy paste you can do, right? It came here, right? It has came here. Now they have given this ext folder, means they are saying that open this ext, and in JMeter also you open your ext, correct? Open this ext, and in JMeter also open this ext. Now they are saying that move this over here. In this, whenever you download any plugin through manual, right, you will get a plugin manager which will be an old version. You see 1.3, but current version is going is 1.6. So no need to copy this, right? No need to copy this. Do not copy that. Do not copy and put that here. Okay, we have to always keep either only one version, and that to latest version, right? So already plugin manager 1.6 is there. If you copy that 1.3, so it can create a conflict. Okay, it will confuse the JMeter. So two copy of same thing we should not keep. Already latest is there, let it be. This one you should ignore. This the above one, right? You see the name also it's given like dummy. So that you can move and drag over here, or just copy paste, right? Copy paste or drag and drop, same thing. So that is what the instruction based, illustration based or diagram based instruction, correct? Same way for parallel control. That leave I have deleted. The parallel controller, right? The zip file is there. You extract that first. Then your lib is coming, right? Lib came means you have to open your lib. So I open a JMeter lib, and this lib I'll open. Then this file we have to move it here. Already we have moved that, right, in the previous plugin, so no need. This was the same file, so you can ignore that. Now ext folder is given. We have ext folder, so we have to go inside that. So I have to go inside ext over here, and I have to go inside ext over here. Now this plugin manager 1.6 is given here. Already we have 1.6. Ignore that. This is the main jar, right? The main jar for that parallel controller. So copy that and move it over here like this. Okay. And now you can restart your JMeter, and you'll see those both plugins will be available. Okay. So this is how through manual we can install any plugin. Not only these two. Okay. There are 90 plus plugin over here. Anyone which you need, manually you can install. Okay, like in this way, in this approach, like this way. Okay, so if I zoom, if I go to right click on thread group, and if you see that dummy sample, it came right. Manually I installed it, came here, correct? Earlier I have through plugin manager we have installed it earlier, right? We have installed that, and later I have uninstalled that also, right? You remember? Now through manual we have installed it. Now you see it came right. It came here. The dummy sampler plus the logic controller. You see the BJDM parallel controller that has also came. So this is how using plugin manager you can install, and through manual method you can install. Correct. plugin manager, through installing plugin manager or uninstalling through plugin manager is the best option, is the easiest option. But since many people are facing, not many people, few people are facing some issue, they have reported this earlier, right? I have seen also, so that's why I've told manual as well. Through manual method also, this is how you can install the plugin without plugin manager, okay, without the use of plugin manager, correct? Now these are few important plugin we must always have. Up to here, all this you should have, so you can install. So let us install them. So I'll go through plugin manager only, I'll install, right? So I'll go to options, plugin manager, available plugins. So dummy sampler is an important one, already we have installed that just now. Parallel controller already done. After that we have custom thread group. So search here custom here, custom thread group, this plugin, put a check mark. About any plugin, if you want to read, when you click on that, on right side some a link will come like this, you see, and some detail will come. You can click on that link and you can read about that if you wish, okay? Or on the website also, about any plugin, let us say about dummy sampler, you want to read what is that, so click on this link, right? So it will take you to that page. You can read about that dummy sampler, what it is, what it does. So that facility is there, right? No need to worry about any plugin. If you want to read that, what it does, how to use, you have to just click on that on the website, and you can, it will take you to that page. Or in the plugin manager also, let us say this thread group, custom thread group, what it does. So here one link they have given, if you click, it will take you over there, you can read over, right? So this is one plugin. Then merge result, random CSV. So let us install all this, merge. Then we have, so I'm all selecting all in one go and I'll install them. Random CSV, this one, random CSV, then Selenium WebDriver. Okay. These are all covered in our my course, that's why we need them. Selenium WebDriver, then a perfmon. You see this perfmon here, put a check mark in that perfmon. And custom JMeter functions here, custom JMeter function, put a check mark in that. Then synthesis report, okay, synthesis. So all I'm selecting in one go. You can install one by one also, or in one go. Synthesis report. Then three basic graph, five additional graph. So here three basic graph, five additional graph, put check mark in them. Okay, fine. Yeah, up to here it's fine. There two more are there, but here up to here, okay, for now. So all I have listed here. Now I'll click on apply changes and all this will be installed. Okay. Download first, they will be downloaded from the plugin website by JMeter. You can see here they are getting downloaded and all will be installed, right? So in going forward, we will be using this, right? So that's why I have installed them right now only. So you should also install them. Okay, you should keep them because we'll be using them, these elements, the plugin elements. So let it install, right? So that is about the plugin manager and plugin installation and uninstallation, about two. So up to here it's done about JMeter intro and other thing, recording, everything done. Now we'll start the real thing. What is that real thing? Scenario identification, or business or user flow or user journey or user story identification, and documentation for performance testing of a web application. The sample application that we are taking for this session is this JPEG store. Okay, we'll take one more later on. For now, uh, this whole course content is on this application. Okay, so you can search this in Google. So if you search this in Google, JPEG store, See JPET store. So the first URL jpetstore.octof.com, right? This is what we will be using in this our session. Okay. So yeah. So here uh, before we go there, all has been installed, and now JMeter is asking to restart, right? All plugin has been installed. So I have to restart, and those plugins will be there, right, in JMeter. Okay. Okay. Now coming back. So see, whenever uh, you will get any project to work on, you will get an URL. Means you'll get the application, right? Application or URL, right? So what will be your first task is, your first task will be to identify the business scenarios, identify the scenarios or the business scenarios or the user, all the same meaning. Okay, people use different term. Many people call user story, many people call it user journey, many people call it business scenario, many people call it user flow. Everything is same. All meaning of all these terms or all these words is same, right? What is that? Hope you know, right? On an application there can be many scenario, so that you have to identify. See this example that hope you remember, for an e-commerce site I told, right? Buyer buying a product, buyer canceling a product, buyer raising a complaint, right? This like that there can be many scenario on that any application, right? So first task will be, your first task should be identifying them. Okay, identifying them. So whenever you get any application, your first task should be to identify what are the scenarios, different scenarios, or the scenarios name they people call as a business flow, business scenario, user journey, user same meaning. Okay, so you have to first identify them and document them. Correct. First identify them and document them along with the transaction involved in that, right? You remember the PTLC life cycle. I'll just revise it back here. PTLC life cycle, the phase 3 test scripting, identify and document the business scenario and their transaction, right? And the transaction for that scenario, because in the business scenario there can be multiple transactions. In one scenario there can be multiple scenarios. So you have to identify them and document them. Now here one question will be there, right? That what is that question? That how I'll be knowing what is the scenario on that, right? Suppose I have given you this application. Now what are the scenarios on this business scenario? How you will be knowing? So for that you can take help. You can take help from many people. Let us say one person giving you the task to do the performance testing. So you can contact him only. Hey, okay, fine, I'll do performance testing, but I want to have a walkthrough of the scenarios. Okay, so they will help you. They either that fellow who is giving you, he will give you walkthrough of the scenarios, or he will assign another person to give you walkthrough of a scenario. Or you can suppose you are in a proper testing team, so their manual testing team will be there, or automation team will be there. They have the knowledge of the scenarios, right? The business scenario, they can help you uh, with that walkthrough, right? Walkthrough of the scenario. Walkthrough means that what are the scenarios, how it works, right? Because you will be new, right? You will not be knowing anything. Suppose I have given this application, what we do here, do you know anything? No, right? Same way, right? Suppose you are given Facebook. So you know, we have already used Facebook, we know what are the scenario, right? Or we have already used Flipkart, we know what are the scenario. But suppose you are a newbie, you do not know about Flipkart, what to do there, how will come to know, right? So you have to take help. Correct. So the help you can take from the person who is giving you the work, like some manager, suppose he is giving you the work. So ask him that I need the walkthrough of the scenario, who will help me? You should assign me. So he will either he know, he will give you walkthrough, or he will assign you one other people or manual people, tester or the automation tester in your team. They will be knowing the business flow, because they test the functionality only, right? Manual tester and functional tester, what they do the functional testing. So they are aware of the functionality, right? Their main job is to do the performance, to do the testing functionality wise, right? So they know everything, so they can also help you, right? So that is what. So first you have to get the scenarios, you have to go through them, identify them, and you have to document them. Okay, that should be the first work whenever you get any application to work on, because you will not be knowing anything about that application, right? So the how to use or what are different scenario that we have to test, that we should be knowing, right? So that is what. So and how we should be knowing that? By taking help, by asking from the person, concerned person, or from manual team or automation team, like that. From anyone you have to go through, and you should have a walkthrough of the scenario, because it's very important. See, recording and what we have seen, I was recording, that was just a recording, right? That is nothing. Recording is nothing. After recording, the enhancement is the bigger phrase. Okay, recording is nothing. For identification, then recording, right? Recording is nothing. Anyone can record. Then we have to enhance. Enhancement is the bigger phase. And enhancement you can only do until unless you do not know the scenario perfectly. Okay, because enhancement is dependent on the functionality only. Suppose you are working on product buying scenario, you should be knowing about that scenario. Okay, about that flow, what is done, how it is done, what are the values, what are user inputs, right? That is in testing world they call it as a knowledge as well, right? Domain knowledge. Domain knowledge is a wider term. Means in domain knowledge many things comes. Here it's not like domain knowledge, but yeah, that flow knowledge, right? You should have before doing the recording and before doing the enhancement, because recording is nothing. It's very simple, but enhancement is dependent on understanding of the scenario only. Better you understand, better you can enhance. Okay. So this is the application that we will be using, and this is how anytime you get any application, first thing will be understanding or getting a walkthrough of the business flow or business scenario or user flow or user journey or user story, same thing, identifying them, then document them. Okay. And walkthrough should since if you are knowing, it's good, because in many company a person is hired who does the all works, like he's a manual tester, he's automation tester, he's perform, so you will be having knowledge. If you do not know, if you do not know, or if you do not have any idea of scenario, ask, do not hesitate. Ask from the person who is giving you that task to work. Ask him that I need the walkthrough of the scenario on what are the scenario involved, in which scenario I have to work, right? Ask them. So he will either he knows, he will tell you, or he will assign another person or any manual or performance that manual or automation guy will help you. But anyone should be helping you, right? You will not be knowing your from your side that what is done on that application, correct? So this is the application that we will be working on. You can Google that. It's a JPEG store application. Now here two scenarios are there. What are those scenario? One is product booking scenario, and one is user registration. First, we will be working on product booking scenario, and I have identified a ID for that. Product booking scenario will be JPS01, and user registration scenario ID will be JPS02. JPS is the short form for this application. Okay, JPS, JPS Store 01, JPS Store 02. Scenario name is product booking. Another scenario name is user registration. So once you get them, then you have to prepare the document, right? So test case document preparation for above two business scenario by understanding the flow and transactions and request efficiently, right? So before documenting, right? Remember, before documenting, first identify the flow, understand the flow efficiently, correct? What is done, what is you are doing, everything. So understanding is very important. Always remember, okay, before working on the flow. So first get the idea of the flow, then you should practice that flow. What suppose product booking is there, right? on Flipkart. So we know that because why we know that flow, that if I have to do product booking on Flipkart, what I have to do. If I ask you, you can tell, right? Because you have done that many times. You have booked a product on Flipkart or Amazon. So you can tell me the steps. I'll search a product, I'll add it to cart like that, like this. So because you have done that same way, every application has different flows, right? On which flow you will be working. Once you have a walkthrough from that person, you should practice that first. You should understand what are the transactions involved in that flow, how many transactions are there, what are the requests, how the requests are, right? What are the main requests for each transaction, right? Through F12, all this detail we can get. So these all everything you have to understand, and then document, right? Document. So documentation, how it will be done? Simple documentation, which I can show you. For the JPEG store I prepared, like that you can also prepare. So JPEG store ocperf test scenarios. Okay. So I have given the URL over here. Here I have given test scenario ID, test scenario name, the transaction involved in that, or test step, some remark. Right? Here some additional column. The application name is JPEG store, short form is JPEG. Now scenario, as I said, there are two flows. So one is product, scenario name, two flow. One is product booking, one is user registration. Scenario ID is JPS01, JPS02. You can give. It's not like that we have to ask. You can give from your side. And here, what are the steps involved in that? So in product booking, a step means transaction. So in product booking, total 1 to 15 transactions are involved. Okay. I have each transaction I have documented. Like that, if you do, it will be easy for you also to understand. In user registration, there are 8 flows, 8 transactions. Sorry, in user registration flow, 8 transactions. So today, I will just have a walkthrough of this product. First, we'll be working on product booking. So I'll just give you a walkthrough so that you can practice. And tomorrow we will do the recording. Okay. So it will just take 5 minutes. So we wait for just 5 minutes. So what is the flow on this application, right? So first you have to launch this URL. So you have launched the URL, transaction number 1. Then you have to click on enter store. So click on enter store. That is transaction number 2. How to know that whether it is valid transaction or not, right? You know how to know, right? Whenever you are doing something on the application in F12 developer tool, you can always refer, right? In F12 developer tool, some action must happen, right? Some request should go and some response should come. So that through this, we have to get an idea, correct? So again, I'll just show you. Okay. So first is homepage launch. So this is homepage launch. Then click on enter store, transaction number 2. After that, click on sign in. So here sign in is there, click on that. Then login. So login, right? So for login, default username and password is J2EE, J2EE. Correct? Remember, as a remark I have kept. So you can also prepare like that. So on this page, the default username and password is J2EE and J2EE. It works for everyone. It's a public website, and then this username and password is for everyone. J2EE, J2, and click on login. Right, that is what login. That is what transaction number 4. Okay. After that, you have to select a pet. We have 5 types of pet. Any pet you can select. Let us say I'll click on fish. Then I'll get a few types of fish here. So I have to select any sub pet, right? So select any sub pet from here. Let us say I'll select goldfish. Then in that also male female will be there to choose. So transaction number 7, select any sub pet type. Anyone you can select. Let us say I'll click on 20 or 21 here. Then add this item to the cart. Transaction number 8, add this item to the cart. Okay. Then proceed to checkout. Okay. Transaction number 9, we have to click on proceed to checkout. So once you click on proceed to checkout, then we have to enter details and click on continue. So here few details you have to enter. On this page you will get this free pre-filled details. Okay, so you can delete this, not an issue. You can delete this all by selecting and pressing delete. You can delete this. So what, as a fresh, you can put your details. So here card type will be there. From this drop down, choose any whatever you wish: Visa, Mastercard, American Express. Let us say I need Mastercard. Then a card number, so any dummy card number you can enter. Some card number you just enter, right? Then expiry date you have to give. Expiry date should be in this format. Remember, mm/yy format. So is month. So let us say expiry is 12/2030. Card will expire in that. Okay. Now in billing address detail I have to give. So let us say first name, anything we can give. Here I'm giving Juju. First name, last name, Bean. Address, let us say street 1, address 2, street 2, right? City, you give whatever, right? Your wish. These all data are independent data. Independent means you can give anything, right? I'm just giving short form HYD. State, you would just give anything. I'm giving short form. You give Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, anything, right? Zip code, any dummy data you give. And country, any name you can give. I'm giving India. And after, so this is form data. Remember this, these are user inputs, correct? You remember the inputs that goes from user side to the server, they are known as user input. So, or they are called form data. So we have to fill that and then we have to click on continue. So this is what transaction number 10. Once this will be done, you will get this page where it will say to verify the billing details and it will give this message. Ignore this part. Okay, ignore this part. And then we have to click on confirm. So transaction number 11 is click on confirm. And your order will be booked. This is the order ID 2818. So I'll just write it here 2818. And when that order was booked, what were the card details you use, billing address, all thing will be displayed here. And what item you are booked, that is given here, right? You'll find that details over. Now, okay, so this is what up 10 transaction, 10 up to 11, right? Total 11 transaction are there, which are main transaction for an product booking. Apart from that, I have added 3 more transaction over here. Okay, just to make it like how real time, in real time the things works. So next transaction is we have to go to my account. Here my account is there. You have to go there. Before going, you just note down this order ID. Okay, it's 281. You can also note down whenever you are practicing. You should note down this order ID. So after that, you go to my account. So let us go to my account. The next page will come. On this page, you scroll down and here you will see my orders. So that is transaction number 13. Click on my orders. And then here all order detail, all orders you will get. So what we have to do is we have to find this order is there or not. So here so many orders will be there because this application is being used by so many people. So so many order will be there, but your order will be in last. You have to just scroll down and you will see this is the order that we booked. So our order is here, right? And then you have to, transaction number 4 is clicking on that order ID. So clicking on that booked order ID. Okay, and once you click, you will again get the detail, what card detail and billing address you filled, what product you booked, and then you have to do sign out. Sign out. Fifth transaction number 5. Okay, so sign out. Yeah, I'll just do that. So you just click on sign out. Okay, that is transaction number 5. That is the product booking flow and total 15 transaction involvement. So this is the idea you have to get before doing, right? Understanding the flow is very important. Always remember what are the user input, what to choose, what not to choose, okay, from where that message is coming, what is that functionality, very, very important. It's like becoming a half domain expert of that flow. Okay, not that much in detail, but yeah, at least something functionality wise you have to understand. That is what functional use, right? How the you, because you are going to see why we have to understand the flow, because you want the JMeter tool or any performance testing tool to do that flow, right? So first you have to understand that what the user is doing. So only when you understand that what the user is doing in that flow, then only you can command any performance testing tool like JMeter or load runner, that you have to do that, right? Remember? Okay, understand? So that's what first you have to understand from the user perspective, like how the user is doing that, and then only you can make the tool do that operation, do that activity. That is what the performance testing tool or JMeter does, right? So understanding flow is very important, and how to understand, right, that I've told you. You can take help from any senior guy, or you can ask the person who is assigning you the task that I need a walkthrough of the flow, right? Assign me the person who can help me, or in your team any manual people or automation people are there, they can help you. Correct? Now coming back to this flow, so this flow is almost similar to any e-commerce, right? On any e-commerce platform, whatever this flow will be there, same flow I have here, right? You choose a product, you add it to cart, you proceed to checkout, you fill the payment detail, right? You confirm, okay, order will be booked, right? Almost here. Plus these two transaction or three transaction is also there, right? If you remember Flipkart or Amazon, once your product is booked, you receive a page, right? Confirmation page, your product is booked, and then you can log out, right? Sign out. But in that Flipkart or Amazon, we have a account section as well, right? Accounts or orders, my order section will be there, right? You remember my order section. If you go there, you will get all the order detail that you have done in past, from whenever you are using Amazon or Flipkart, right? Whatever order you have booked in last, from the past, right? Past, like suppose you are using Flipkart from 5 years, whatever order you have booked, every order will be there with that order ID will be there. Plus the current order will also be there, right? So that was the flow here. Once the order get booked, right? You remember, once the order get booked, after confirming over here, once that order get booked, right, we visited that my orders page, right? And we have so many orders, and from this we have to check that current booked order, right? That 2818, whether that was present in this order ID or not, right? And then we have to click on that as well. Correct. We have to click on that, right? Clicking on the booked order transaction number 14. So this flow is there on any e-commerce website. This kind of flow is there. Okay, so that is what going to, after booking, going to my accounts, going to my orders, in my orders, checking that the current order which I have booked, whether it is reflecting there or not, right? If it is reflecting there, we have to click on that, and then we have to and we'll getting this page. After verifying, we have to do the sign up, right? So this all flow is realistic only on any e-commerce website. This flow is there, right? So this is the flow. You practice this flow till tomorrow, right? And then tomorrow we will do the scripting, okay, end-to-end recording and script enhancement. Okay, first we'll start with product booking, right? So that is for today. Thank you.